Hey, Terry. I think he's Californiaized, and now he's starting to really wake up.
California.
Yeah, it's different in Florida. Yeah. Thank you for doing this lunch. Oh my gosh. We don't need that extra energy today.
Wow, to settle into being a kid's host, huh? Very dramatic this morning. Yeah, good. That's really nice. Yeah. I think for me, that's going to be if I were to pick one thing right now that I would want you to really focus on, it's almost like resetting yourself as a rider and taking all of your aids off and then applying only the ones you need. Does that make sense? Yeah, so we start like a blank canvas, yeah? We're a blank slate here. And you have certain things that you have as a rider. Good. Yeah, that's good. And I always want you to have to put your leg on him, because then for me, you're going to be brave, right? We're never brave when we're pulling on the reins, getting run away with. What I want is you to feel like you're always kind of asking him to go, right? I know it's a bit tiring, but it's like going to the gym. But for me, then you develop as a rider with your confidence, because you're asking, you're choosing what happens. Yeah, that's really nice. Good. Let's go change direction again. Not being the dominant side, but the left side being equal to the right side. Really nice. Should take Will a little video. Really good. And then when you're ready, we'll make that transition to canter. So you think about just be a little bit quiet in your position to start. Yeah, there. See how you got tight and he sped up? Yeah, and then now you're quiet, and then you ride your inside leg aid to canter. Yeah, that's so good. What'd you get, a bug in your face? Good. Take that pressure off. Yeah, and think about how you sit just on your seat bones. Just on your seat bones. Yeah, not tighten the thigh. Move that lower back. So the lower back, like imagine where your breeches sit on the back of your, on your lower back. Those muscles are, yeah, you feel that? I do. Yeah. The hardest thing with these horses is how much body awareness we have to have, because they tell us all about ourselves. Yeah, that's right. Good, and then relax that seat again so you can go and follow with him. Really good, Abby. Yeah, that's super. Good. Then you're gonna stop your hip to trot. So we just stop the movement. Hey, well done. That was really good. Big improvement from yesterday. Let's change the direction again.
Yeah, I felt more at peace because, there's something intuitive when I see other people ride.
Yeah.
And Abby,
Yeah.
when it's not going well. And I can't articulate it, obviously, but
I know. I see it. I get it. It happens to me all the time.
You hear me breathing and doing all that.
And it was so funny because yesterday I had mostly everyone. Yeah, good. And then straight. Very good. Yeah, this is super. You feel how he almost, like there's a change in him. It's really slight, but it goes from him being quite sort of forward and strong almost to sort of steady. He finds a rhythm, And you have to close your calf again, right? Whenever you feel that you have to close that calf again is almost like it's a good thing. Good. Let's make that canter transition too. So we slow the post slightly. Well done. You did it before I even said. Yep. Yep. That's good. Keep those heels. Yep. And then relax that leg. Sit into those seat bones. Look over your left shoulder. Yeah, good. Good. Not so tight. Don't lean back against him. Stay light on your seat bones this direction. We could say maybe you sit a little heavier this way, I would think. And I think it's all to do with balance. Yeah, and I think that's going to be a big thing that you'll work on as a rider is this, right? For me, all this stuff every day, we don't even need to make it fancy. We just need to make you comfortable. You need to be comfortable here. Yeah? Very good. Yep, and then look over your left shoulder again. So you reset your hip position. Yep, good. Not sitting back against him. Yeah, there. Really nice in your position. And then ride your trot transition. You just stop your hip. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, that's really, really good, Abby. Yeah, really nice. Good. So there's a lot of good stuff today from yesterday, I think, that I see in him and in you. Changes you've made, which is really important. I think it's super important that you really focus on the things that you can change and control, that you don't allow the horse to push you in different directions, right? But that you're not stiff and rigid in your corrections, right? So you can make corrections, but they're not forced corrections. They're quite light corrections. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
The light bulb just
Yeah,
got
exactly. Because don't you think sometimes the first thing we think of is like forcing a situation, right?
Right.
Because I think in a funny way, most of us that do this, we're a little bit bossy type people, right? We'd be type A, type Look at that, I'm trying not to laugh. But like we're quite strong-willed. We know what we want, right? But that translates sometimes, maybe not into the best for training horses sometimes, right? It's good, but there's also a negative side to that, which can be that we're a little bit too strong, right? We sometimes lose sight of a situation that doesn't need to be dealt with force. Yeah, so it's something definitely to think about in the future. Okay, we're gonna come around on the right lead canter. When we're thinking about jumping horses like this, when you come and jump, where are you looking at your pole? So if I have you come canter that, or if I had you come canter this, where are your eyes?
It would be ahead when I'm over the jump, but I would look at the jump
Good.
until.
Yep, until you
strides?
kind of leave the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we really want to work on is your eye and just because you're getting close to the fence doesn't mean you can't maintain the canter that you have. Okay?
Okay.
So I want you to feel like you can maintain the canter that you have, slowing it down, right? Not getting too quick, maintaining the canter that you have, and then not getting left behind, obviously. I don't want that to translate into sort of pulling him in the teeth, but I do want that feeling to be that you're creating the canter to the jump. You're not leaving it up to him. He likes someone to kind of tell him, stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here. Yeah?
Right.
I want you to take the guesswork out of it a little bit. So when you canter to a pole on the ground, there has to be a rhythm and a timing, because he has a pretty rhythmical canter, and don't let the jump change that. Okay? Let's pick up the reins. Yeah, good. We're gonna say that every time you go to pick up the connection to make sure you're not constantly driving still. Good. And it doesn't mean you're not having him round, it just means that your seat and everything about you is sort of relaxed and moving. Good. Yep, that you're not turning that knee out so much, that right knee. It stays pointing forward. Yeah. So your kneecap almost stays pointed, both kneecaps think about being a little bit forward. Oh, huh. It's funny when you move things, isn't it? Like what horses do.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Because if anything, you get your kneecaps pointing outwards a little too much. And I want them to think about tracking in a forward direction. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, when you think about it? Like, you don't need to take your knee completely off the side of the saddle, right? Yeah. All right, so when you're ready, we'll just shorten the reins up one more step and then we'll trot on. Yeah, really good. Yeah, this is lovely. Very good. So for me, the biggest thing you can control is the strength of your body over the jumps. It doesn't mean that you go loose and floppy, because he's not going to like that either. But you don't need to tell him to jump the jump, okay? Like, you don't need to drive him to the fence. Yep. Straighten him a little bit. Get that right knee back. Good. We're going to pick up the right lead canter. You're going to canter around, over to the right, and we're going to canter down over the white cavaletti. We're going to think about not being too strong, how you can be neutral in your position. So this is the speed and the rhythm that I would like to see you jump this in. You have to think about the timing. So here, now you're looking at the cavaletti, you're thinking of your line, now you're thinking of your speed, and now you're gonna stand. Yep, carry your hands in front, that they don't get locked down there. Yep, so that when you jump, you don't have stiffness in your arms there. That was very nice. Good, keep moving those elbows. Keep moving those elbows. Yep. Yep, this is really good stuff, Abby. Good girl. Yep, yep, well done. Now carry your hands in front of you, take the stiffness out, and think about the speed, the line. Wait. Yep, so you didn't kind of comprehend that that was about to happen, huh? Because, yeah, and that needs to be an awareness now, okay? That's really important that becomes, if I told you to hop off your horse and run and jump over that, you would shuffle your feet accordingly. And I want you to think about doing the same thing up there. So now he's a little long, right? He's a little long. So we have to, yeah, and not with tightness. Good. And now give. Yeah, that was really nice. Let's change direction somewhere, and we're going to do that the other way. Nicely done. Really good, Abby. Slow, take the aids off, and then add the inside leg. Lovely. So we'll go around, you do a little circle, and we'll go back the other direction now. Good, not sitting too strongly on those thighs. Yeah. Not letting that canter stride get too long here. Keep the connection, and give. Yeah, that was really good. Watch you don't collapse, sort of down, knuckles down. Yeah, thank you. Exactly.
It's a nervous proclivity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anxiousness. Yeah.
You're
good.
just embodying what we're trying to not do. Good. So I want you to stand in your stirrups for me. Yeah. Good. And then give. Yep. Okay. Let's come back to the wall. Good. Then you're going to come here and we're going to put them up one. What I want you to do is I want you to pick probably 2 times a week that you make yourself canter in that 2-point position.
Okay.
I don't find that you're strong enough in your leg, in your balance, and we need to get you stronger in that 2-point position, okay?
Okay.
And I know you don't feel balanced, but you don't feel balanced because it's a skill and a strength that you don't have yet. but can be developed, right? That's why I know you don't like the shorter stirrup, but for jumping, your stirrups are too long, right? So I don't mind you warming up like that, but for jumping, I need you to feel like you can be sort of good. So that the legs, so just relax. Yep, don't turn that out. Good. Yep, there. Now stand up for me. Yeah, that's excellent there, right?
Right.
It's pretty hard though, isn't it? Like over a long period of time. What I want to see is like once or twice a week that you put your jump tack on, you come out here and you practice that over poles in a 2-point position so you can canter around for 5 minutes, 10 minutes eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, that you can do, even that you that this gets quite like when I'm like, you know, they're quite strong. Now you're not meant to be me, but even I'm actually a little bit weak in my long. Right now I'm not riding. You know, when I had only doing long format 4-star stuff, I'd have to really focus on my strength there. Now I'm not as much, I'm a bit soft, but just being able to hold that position so that you don't so that when if he goes to fall to trot, that you're able to close your leg without sitting back down and pushing him forward. Okay.
Could I see from the side view how far she should go down? Like, you know.
So stand up in your stirrups. Yeah. So she needs to be able to balance in that position.
And is she too pitched too forward because she's not?
No,
That's
you
okay.
you actually you need to be a little bit hinged at the hip.
Yeah.
Because that's where you balance right over your feet, basically.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be like.
That's right.
Okay.
And when you jump, that hip angle closes a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you land, you have to be able to land like that in your feet, not kind of on the horse in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know if it's just me standing still, but it feels a lot better.
Yeah, it does.
It
Yeah.
does.
Well, we'll see how it is because I know it's always hard with the you know, different saddles and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we got to really get you confident in a balanced position on him in a 2-point, not just sitting.
And like you said, you
'Cause
don't
the
want to blame
dressage
it
is
on the
not-
saddle or the bit or whatever.
Exactly.
Like yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one on him too.
Yeah, as long as Abby understands, she can tell me when
exactly.
we're watching the video.
So let's go to the left lead again, and we'll try that over the white. Yeah.
So, I'm always in her way.
You can't run over the- Look so that right arm doesn't get stiff and out. Good. You can push him off of your left leg a little bit. Good. Good. Nice. Now we think about shortening this canter stride a little bit here. Yep. Inside leg stays on. Good. A little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. And then you stand. Yeah. Ah, see, that was a really good position, huh? Yeah, I like that. Now show me your 2-point again. Yep. But don't throw the reins away. So I want you to see if you can balance between your heel and your hands. Yep. Bend your elbows. So he's not meant to change his frame, right? I don't want him to go away from the round. Now he's low. Keep your hands a little wider apart. Good. You're going to keep coming through your turn. Now make the canter a little smaller. A little smaller. Yep. And then stand. Yep. Left hand. Yep. Ride your trot transition. Good. Open your left rein a little bit. That was good. Good. You feel, so just make a walk transition. So what I want to see you work on when you go home, watch your video of that, is what you'll really notice is the difference in him when you went into that 2-point position, and then how your leg and your rein couldn't quite be as effective when I took your seat away, which means that your seat is doing too much work, and we have to get the lower leg and the contact to build up a little more strength and communication between each other. Okay? I'm not saying you have to jump in that 2-point position, because I like to sit down in front of the fences, but you have to have it as a tool. Yeah, it has to be available. Okay, so we're going to come around on the left lead. You're going to go around the white picket jump, the white gate over there, staying on your rail. You're going to come around and turn nicely inside here and get on your line to pop over your cross rail. We could go back to using the seated position, but remember, in the air we have to stand, find that balance, and land in that same balance. So we didn't quite prepare. That was too right side dominant again. So we have to make the left side the important side here. Keep your fingers closed. Good. Good. Inside leg, inside leg. Good. And then you can canter. Very nice. Keep the contact. Yeah, very nice here. Good. We want to keep the same. Good. Think about your line. And then we think about standing. Yep. And then sit up. Good. Such a nice jumper. Okay. Walk. How did that feel?
I didn't hold my line to the jump.
Right. Yep. I would agree, but I think it's because when I really believe that the weakness in the 2-point position and the ability to use your leg for steering has to become a little more important, right, than you realize. Because the minute we took away your seat to your rail, I feel like the canter quality wasn't as good. And when the canter quality isn't as good, the distance isn't going to be as obvious. And it's not going to be, the reason that we get good distances all the time is because the canter is good, right? If we lose the quality of the canter, the jump tends to become like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen, right? So we're going to pick up that left lead again, and we're going to see if we could think about not letting that canter get strung out long, and we want to keep him a little straighter. A little wider apart, especially that left one here. Yep. Nope. So, yep. Connect him a little bit more. Don't let those reins and those arms kind of do this out there. Yeah. Bend your elbows. Yep. Ride a walk transition. Ride a walk transition and a trot transition. Good. Think about the left bend though. He's looking right. Yep. Good. Ride your half hop.
I almost knocked that down. Because I bumped it and then it went to the side a little. I was like, I'm about to go make a coffee run.
I actually got her another one.
Oh, cool.
Now look into your turn, so you know where you want to turn. Yep, inside leg, and now straighten. Oh. No. So Abby, you told him to go too big. You made the canter bigger in front of the fence, not smaller. Come again. Yep. So when you make the turn to the jump, yep. Now sit down. Now think smaller. Yeah, that one. Yeah, very good. Do that one small. So this is good, nice and forward out here. Good. Yep, that's it, nice and relaxed. And now think of a smaller canter again, smaller and soft. You feel that? Turn right, because you're on the right lead. That was beautiful. Keep cantering right. Go between the green oxer and the blue oxer and come and jump it off the right. The green oxer and the, oh yeah, that's actually, yeah, you're right, there's two of those. Let's do a circle, because I picked the wrong oxer. Oh, you have to steer. You weren't steering. Yep, you weren't steering. Yep, you got to tell him where to go. There, you feel that? All the time. Now go pick the other blue oxer. That was my fault. I didn't tell you which one. Yeah. Yeah, the birdie. Yeah. Now bend him a little right. Good. Look in your turn first. Good. Now make a smaller canter. Smaller. And then give. Yeah. Really good. Good. And ride your trot transition. It's unbelievable. You should wait till he's the most unbelievable jumping canter. He's an unbelievable, I mean, he's like, I know he's a lot, but he's just like, good, let him walk. Like, it wouldn't take much to then go coursework eventually, like soon, but that, like, for me, that just has to be so,
Yeah.
you know, all the time, all those, and it's not, For me, it's not exercise based for her, it's feel based and learning the difference, like to be able to make a big canter and a small canter, right?
Yeah.
Like that's really basic. You don't need to do more than like, it doesn't need to be tricky. It doesn't need, it's basically the horse has a great canter and your job is to get him straight and pick the right speed, right? Like what David would always say, right?
Yeah.
Like line, direction, and speed management. They're your two jobs. And well, not much, right? It's like driving a car. So for this horse and for you, if you can manage all those things, there's no reason that you, when something isn't what you like, you go back and say, what didn't I have? It's probably either line or, oh, did I actually tell him to slow down?
Right.
Right? Like just remembering when you come through your turn that you can actually tell him that he doesn't need to get bigger. He can jump that out of the collected canter. And then you feel how balanced he is on landing.
really nice.
It's really nice, huh? Yeah. Very good.
Because I sit and I'm quiet,
Yeah.
but then I'm actually making him go forward.
Yeah, because I actually don't mind you sitting. I like the sitting because I think you're secure there. I actually think that sitting to actually support the collection.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah. And typically, if you've ridden a horse that's stopped or worries you on the backside of a jump or something like that, we tend to change how we approach the fence. So we have to reset your thinking a little bit about that.
That's not how he is.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be like that. He could be like that if, if certain things happen. And I agree his jump is probably going to be a little kind of, it's big at first. And we might have to make sure in the next couple of weeks that he gets jumped.
Proper.
Maybe. Huh?
Properly.
Yeah.
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 2 point, and he got long and low and strung out.
Right.
Right? So then we got to go back and look at the video and say, did the canter look like the canter that you had when you were cantering over this pole when you weren't in a 2 point?
Right. And
So
it's not necessarily just going fast.
That's no, because it should actually be as slow as when you're sitting on him
I need like 2.2
to be collected.
collected.
Yes, because 2 point you can gallop in. That's easy.
That's
That's the easy part. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the really easy part. You can gallop in that. Hi.
And you like this bit on him.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he seems to like that.
Do you think we should? You said figure 8 when
You could
like,
do
when
that
you
for your jump bridle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he'd be good in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.